Hey everyone, it's Stephanie 1111 Witchy Babe, and I am back with another pick a card reading. So we today are going to be taking a look at the last poll winner, and that is past lives. Who was I in a past life? We take a look at the personality, maybe some of the things that you did, looks, all that stuff, just diving into who you were in this past life. So we have 4 options here. We have Traveler, Magic Guardian, Medicine Mother, and Lady. Go ahead, make your selection. If you feel drawn to more than one card, definitely listen to whatever you're drawn to. When it comes to past lives, we as being incarnates on this planet right now, during this time, with all these shifts and all this craziness going on, we are like the seniors in high school. We have experienced a lot of stuff to get us to this point. And so there is many past lives, and you can have multiple messages in this reading. So make sure if you're drawn to more than one card, if you're drawn to all 4 cards, great, listen to the whole thing, because there's going to be messages scattered about throughout all those readings for you. So yes, welcome if you are new. My name is Stephanie. I'm an intuitive tarot reader. I'm an astrology student, and I'm so happy that you're here today with me. I hope you enjoy the reading. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, because remember, this is a general energy reading, only take what resonates, you can do that at my website, 1111witchybabe.com. I always get asked this. Yes, I do offer past life readings, past life and spiritual development readings, and this is one of the reading options that is 100% customizable. So if you want to book that with me after watching this, just head to my website. If you have any questions, you can always send me a message through Facebook, or you can send me a message on my email, which is also listed, or you can send a message through my website. There's like a messaging thing there too. So yes, go ahead and you can check out your timestamps in the description box, and I will see you at your selection. Hello, group travelers. This is going to be your reading for Who Was I in a Past Life. What we're going to be taking a look at this reading, we're going to look at your personality. We're going to look at the karma that you're bringing over from this past life into this life, like what lessons are needing to integrate. We're also going to be taking a look at your love life. We're going to see if there's anybody that was in that life that's showing up in this one. And so a reminder before I begin, general energy reading, please only take the information that resonates and leave everything else behind that doesn't. I do offer a personalized version of this reading on my website. It is the past lives, spiritual development and past lives reading, and it is a reading that's customizable. So if you have additional questions or want to, know something in regard relating to this reading, you can book that 1111witchybabe.com. Okay. So first thing that's standing out to me is the red in this. And so this is going to remind me of the root chakra. So you might have, we're going to just kind of like put a pin in that when we start to talk about the karma and like what's coming over from this life. You might have some root chakra stuff that you're dealing with in this life that stems from this past life that we're picking up on. I do like to always just kind of go into my perspective of past lives before I begin these type of readings. I do believe that we have multiple past lives. I don't think I can tell you how many past lives you have had, like an actual number, but I believe that if you're incarnated on this planet right now in 2020, with all the craziness that we see going on and the big shifts, that you are a soul that has been through many cycles in order to be able to be here and handle all of the shifts and situations that are happening on this planet at this time. So we are just picking up on whatever one that past life has information for you at this time. All right, let's go ahead and get started. We will start off with the personality. So we have the Traveler card. That's what you were attracted to. And what I heard when this card came out is a free spirit. You were somebody that had this very strong free spirit. I don't at the same time feel though that you got to express that. So you might be in this lifetime, because you're in a different type of dynamic and a different type of environment, are able to engage in that free spirit more frequently. At least I feel like you have more freedom in this lifetime than you did in this past life, for sure. I feel like a lot of you did have a lot of feminine energy. So you were either a female or you were somebody that carried a lot of feminine energy, and it was apparent to those around you. So I don't necessarily feel like those attracted to this were able, because I feel like this time period seems like a time before there was electricity, a time before there was like civilization as we see it now. It was far back. I not really good with dates. So I wouldn't be able to tell you like the time frame, but one thing I can tell you is that where you're living now, I feel you lived on the opposite side of the world. There's like a body of water and land in between where you are now and where you were in this past life. So let's get some more information. We're going to do the personality. With the personality, we'll take a look at job as well and things with looks. Information about looks. Okay, so first off, we're going to be looking at just your overall personality. We have companion coming out. So you had a lot of good friends. I feel you had a lot of, like, you had a circle of people. You had your soul family. So you might have that soul family now in your life. Particularly one person. That's weird. I got a name. I heard Emily. So somebody let me know in the comments if you have somebody in your life that you feel is your soul, that's your soul family, and their name is Emily. I don't think I ever get names like that I can think of, at least. Then we have artists coming out, expressing a dimension of life that is just beyond the five senses, inspiring others to see life symbolically. Yes. So again, you were a free spirit. You might have been very artistically inclined, and you were able to express yourself in that way. And it showed others different aspects of, you know, did what art's supposed to do, showed others aspects of themselves. Personality. 3 of Coins reversed. Personality. So you might not have been the easiest person to work with. I'm hearing something about siblings. So I think you had some sibling rivalry going on there. Ace of Staff reversed. And I also feel like you were somebody that had like a lower energy. You were more, I'm getting like Piscean vibes, Neptunian vibes. So you're more into like the creative than using, you know, like physical stuff. I just feel like you had a lower energy. So this is like a Pisces Mars, Cancer Mars. We have this second house. Yeah, Taurus Mars. Second house, and that's, so this is Taurus energy. You valued your community a lot, is what I'm hearing. And your close friends, your soul family, and your family. So we were looking at the resources, and then I'm flashing back over to this red, and then we also have the red and the artist. I do feel like resources was something that was very difficult for you, but it also was difficult for your community. That it was how things were. Everybody was struggling really hard. And so might be something that you either feel a strong connection with in this life. If you don't have experience with that, it's just something that you're always kind of worried about, or you might also have this in this life where you go through issues with finances. And have cycles with that. I feel like more of it is going to be in this lifetime. It's going to be cycles of financial loss versus constant financial loss. So, and you know, maybe that doesn't apply for everybody, but I feel like there are times where things are, you know, you got things together. You know, you might not be rich, but you got things together. Things are taken care of. But there's also times where you'll get these like really big hits, and it really shakes you. It shakes you to your core. That is actually some of the lessons that we're gonna go talk about next. You are working through like a massive lesson that is taking a couple lifetimes to go through in regards to feeling that security and knowing that you have abundance, knowing that you are financially secure, knowing that you're going to have food, shelter, you're going to have everything that you need, you'll be taken care of. So it's like a weird space for me to talk about this stuff, because I don't want to come across to like, you know, oh, as long as you think it will be there. But like, that's like really is kind of a simplified version of it. we're always going to have experiences that are difficult, but we get them so we can see, do we maintain that knowing, that inner knowing that it's going to work out, that I can provide for myself, that I can be secure. And when you have root chakra issues, you don't feel secure. You're not grounded. And so you feel like at any time, everything can be taken away from you. So you can have as much money in the world and you're going to still feel like it all can be taken away from you. So you have to establish a sense of security from within, not from what you actually tangibly have, not from what is in your bank account. Okay. And so that is something why you will go through cycles of where you have this loss, because it's like, all right, let's see, are they going to, and I don't want to make it seem like, oh, it's just, testing you just to mess with you or anything like that. It's what the soul goes through as it develops. Is this soul ready? Is this soul in a space and an energy holding it consistently enough that if this negative event comes in that takes away their tangible sense of security or resources, are they able to maintain the energy of I'm still secure, that I still can provide for myself? And so that's part of your lesson. So let's go ahead and step on into the lesson section now in the karma and see what's coming over from this past life into your life now, and how to integrate it and get that stuff cleared out. Emotional loss. Yes. Okay. So yeah, you might have, you've had a lot of emotional loss in this past life. I definitely feel like this past life was a struggle, and that was appropriate for the time frame and the area that you were in. And so with that, I feel like came a lot of loss, came a lot of tragedy. So this is something that you might find yourself sad sometimes and you don't know why. And like you might feel yourself really, really sad. You also might feel yourself very, very strongly connected with sites of extreme poverty. And it's not, it's beyond being empathetic to the situation. You might even be like, I feel like really bad when I see other horrible things, but when I see like this and specifically, it hits at a whole other level. It hits at like a cellular level, because it's that memory, it's that soul data, it's in your cells. It's there, and so it's activating that fear, that trauma, and so that's something you might experience. And so when you have those moments, what I'm going to recommend, and what I hear is that we have the ability, even when it's a past life, we have ability to send ourselves energy in those moments of despair. So this includes your current life and moments of your past where you were going through very difficult things. Everything is happening at once. Our perception of it is that it's linear, but time is all happening at once. So you can send yourself energy of healing and of love and security and stability in that past life from this present life. It might sound crazy to you. That's fine. It sounded crazy to me until I started actually doing it, when I would have moments where I knew something was coming up that was from, a memory or a past life event, just sending myself that energy and seeing how I felt better. I felt lighter. And if it makes you feel better, then it makes you feel better. I personally, again, my belief is that everything is happening at once. We only perceive it as linear. So these different aspects and these dimensions of ourselves and these past experiences, it's all kind of the same thing. It's just seeing it from a different lens. It's like a kaleidoscope, right? And like, when you're looking at a kaleidoscope, all of that stuff is always there. It's not like when you're switching it around, it's putting a new like slide in to see or something. It's always there. It's just the perception continues to change and new patterns emerge. So same thing with life and past lives and everything. It's all happening at once. It's all always there. It's just the perception of what we're currently seeing at the time. And so when you feel that, just send yourself some love. All right, karma. Oh, look at that. Well, they're calling it base chakra in this. We got root chakra here. Exactly what I said. So we don't need to talk about that again. I love that came out. And it actually came out reversed, which shows a blockage. So let's take a look at what is some advice for helping with this blockage. The base chakra, the root chakra blockage, suffering in silence. So one thing is, I feel like you need to have somebody, to speak to about these things, about feeling secure. And the security is not just going to be in regards to your finances, it's also security with feeling safe. Maybe some of you have experienced some trauma in your life that you haven't really processed, and some of you have a hard time feeling safe. Like if you're alone, you might feel very unsafe. If it's at night, you might feel unsafe. You might be kind of scared of the dark. And this is something that you've suffered with in silence. You haven't told anybody. You didn't want to like seem weird or burden anyone, but I think it's something that would be worth seeking out professional help if you feel like this resonates with you. There's nothing wrong with that. It's my personal belief. Like if I was just all of a sudden made the president, or I'd actually probably have to be more than the president, like the queen of the world, where I had total authority, I would make it so everyone saw a therapist at least once a year, but like hopefully more than that. I think everyone needs check-ins. Everybody needs somebody that they can talk to that's not a part of their life, that is trained to assist with kind of dealing with different events and dealing with processing trauma, because the quicker you deal with those things, the quicker you deal with trauma, the less impact it will have on your life long term. So you don't need to suffer in silence. You don't need to feel bad for seeking help. I know it's not always financially the most accessible things, but I think there's a couple more options that are a little bit easier to reach now. And then if not, then there's always, Facebook groups and other online communities that are free that you can look, do your research and like feel the room first before you start spewing everything out, for sure, because it is the internet. But there's places where you can have people that can help you, even if they're not trained, because maybe they've been through the same experience. So, okay. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the love life portion, because it's just a little bit more fun. I feel like we get so heavy on that. And let's just see, do we have anybody that is showing up in this life from a past life? Or vice versa. I hope. Anyway. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's see. Do you have anybody in your life now that was from this past life? And, well, we know you do, but let's see who it is. Because it could be friends. It could be family. So we have shapeshifter. I just heard Gemini. This person could be a Gemini. And we have Prince. Okay, so this is more than likely somebody that was a romantic partner that is showing up in this life. So, this is somebody that they were, I feel somebody that was just very open-minded, just like you. I feel like I'm getting something, but I'm not like, I don't understand it. So let's get some more cards. Who was this person? Well, I know they're a romantic partner, but what else? What more about them? I don't want to use those ones. Let's use these. Sorry, guys. I picked up a deck of cards and I decided I didn't want to use them. 12th house. Okay, that's why I was like, I feel kind of blocked from this. Okay, so this person is showing up. I don't believe this person was this was not like your partner. This wasn't your husband or your wife. This was somebody that you hid from the world. So the energy is kind of hidden. This could have been an affair. You could have had a partner, or maybe you were single or a part of some sort of religious sect where you didn't get married, but you hid this person for whatever reason. And that, that shapeshifter, that kind of takes a different tone now with this hiding energy. Oh, some of you, this was same sex. This was a same sex relationship, and that's why you had to hide it. And so that might be something that is reflective in your life now. That could be a part of a lot of that trauma and that energy we were picking up on in the overall reading. Okay. But what also might carry over is this might be a situationship that is hidden. This could be an entanglement. you know, so in your life currently, so you could be, you know, repeating history, so to speak. Let's see this person that was in your past life that's in your present. Anything else? So this person, they also could be a water sign or have water placements. I'm feeling Pisces energy again. And yeah, there was just a lot of anxiety between you two because you weren't supposed to be together. And there was a lot of emotions, a lot of emotions, heavy emotions. Okay, so you'll have to let me know. Are you in a entanglement in this life that you feel was I was picking up on in the present life? Okay, so let's I think that's going to be it, actually, because we don't need to look at advice. We already did that with the karma. So that's going to be your reading. Let me know what you think in the comments. I know it's a little bit different. Hello, Magic Guardian. So this is going to be your selection for who was I in a past life. So the way this reading is going to work is I'm going to take a look at the personality of your past life. I'm going to be taking a look at the karma of your past life and what lessons you're needing to integrate into your life now. And also be taking a look at your love life to see if anybody is coming up that's in your present life now from that past life, and any information that you need to know about that. So let's go ahead and get started. A reminder, this is a general energy reading. It's only based off of, or it's not based off of your personal energy. It's based off of the collective that's going to be watching this. So only take the information that resonates and leave anything else behind that doesn't. If you want to book a personal version of this reading with me, you can do that at my website. It's actually a reading that's 100% customizable. So if you have additional questions that come up, you can add that in. And I do past life and overall spiritual progression, growth, advice, any information that needs to come out for you in that way. And you can do that at my website, 1111whatyoubabe.com. Okay, so the first thing I noticed with the Magick Guardian card, I'm always looking at colors. Colors are a way I channel a lot of information, a lot of energy. And so what stood out to me was all of this beautiful gold, yellow, I'm just going to call it yellow for the sake of this reading, but it's gold behind her. And so that is going to remind me of the solar plexus chakra. And so this was a lifetime that you learned a lot of lessons and were really focused in on the solar plexus. And I feel like you also have a lot of lessons and energy regarding your solar plexus that comes through in this lifetime. So solar plexus, for those who don't know, that's the energy point that holds your sense of self-worth, your sense of you know, being confident, being able to assert yourself, knowing that you're worthy of the things that you desire. So this is something that you're having to learn a lot of lessons about in that department of your life. So let's go ahead and dive on into the personality portion and see what was your personality like in this past life. Wow, look at that. We have warrior coming out. And we have knight coming out. Okay, and it's coming out in its shadow. I'm laughing. I'll explain it in a minute. So I feel like a lot of you were very strong in your past lives. You have that warrior energy. Some of you might have been actual warriors. But regardless, you were skilled, you had a lot of strength, you were able to deal with whatever life threw at you. You took a lot of pride in your community, you took a lot of pride in your culture, and you defended it when need be. The reason why I laughed, because it kind of switched gears really quick with the knight going reverse, because the knight reverse in this deck is somebody that is kind of like, you know, like this playboy, playgirl energy. I feel like you had maybe a lot of opportunities. So you had a lot of people that, you had a lot of entanglements. How about that? You had a lot of entanglements. The knight reversed is kind of somebody that makes some promises that they can't always fulfill, because they get swept up in the moment. So, Yeah, I think that was interesting. It kind of jumped from like this very like, oh, you were this, and then here, let's get into a little bit more of the petty details. Okay, let's see what else personality wise of this past life. Okay, so your when it came to your home life in your past life, that was something that was definitely had room to improve. You weren't very happy with it. You didn't feel very stable with it. And I feel like it was stemming from your childhood in this past life. I don't feel like you were really supported. And again, look at all that yellow. You were very supported when it came to developing your solar plexus energy, developing a confidence within inside of yourself. I feel like you were a part of a group of people, like the culture you came from was very harsh with the way that it treated people, and that might have been because that's how it had to be, because it was a harsh life. But I just feel like building the confidence inside of somebody else was not something that was cared about in this culture. And so I feel like you were a product of that. People belittling you, people trying to suppress you. And this might be something that has carried over in this life. That's the thing with with the past life energy, is that sometimes we'll see those similar situations play out in this current life as almost a test to see, okay, have we completed that lesson? And so that's what I see here. I see that, you might also have issues with your childhood or issues with your home where you don't feel like you're respected or you don't feel like you're standing in your true power. And that's something that is continuing, that button is continuing to be pushed because you're having to learn that you are the only one that can put yourself in that position, that you're the only one you're the one that accepts when somebody doesn't treat you right, and you accept their version of you as the truth. You're the only one that can define yourself. So that is like the lesson. That's why that button keeps getting pushed. I know we're just talking personalities right now, but let's keep going. we're doing personalities / karma, but no, we're still on personalities. Okay, Queen of Swords. So you could have been an air sign in this past life and had some air sign qualities, very communicative, very very intellectual, very logical. And I feel like, you didn't have the best tap in when it came to your intuition per se. No, let me rephrase this actually. It's not that, it's the fact that you just kind of used your intuition to get what you wanted versus in more of a like expanding your mind type of way, or seeking information. Now, again, your card is Magick Guardian, and so this is Unlock the Magic Within. So some of you might have had a connection with magic. I feel like if you did, it was more because that was a big part of your culture and not because you were seeking that energy out, because I do feel like you were more on the logical realm, you were more on the mental realm than the spiritual realm in this past lifetime. And that magic within is the confidence within yourself. And so you just, for some of you, okay, not some of you, this is a more masculine energy grouping because it's stemming more from a base of logic and senses, what you can see, what you can taste, what you can touch. That is what I'm feeling here, versus the feminine energy. And again, this is not going to be gender, this is or sex, this is energy. So the feminine energy is going to be more receptive, more intuitive, and not based in the earthly plane. So I'm feeling more of an earthly vibe, more of a masculine energy of, what's in your physical life. So you could have been a man in this past life, or you could have carried a lot of masculine energy. Okay. All right, I think we're good on the personality. Let's go ahead and we're going to jump on into the karma and what lessons are carrying over. So we've already talked about the solar plexus chakra. We've talked about, maybe some repetitive history with family issues and people kind of trying to like push you down into a box, or, suppress your growth, or maybe like even bullying throughout school. That could also be a thing that you had to deal with in this life that was kind of stemming over from the past life. And all of that is happening because it's pushing you to realize you're the only one that defines yourself, and to like step into that magic, your true magic, and allow yourself to fully release all of the blockages you have in your solar plexus chakra, and feel that sense of self and that sense of worthiness. But let's see what other lessons are needing to come out. Knight of Coins reversed. Clarify that, please. Four of Cups reversed. Okay, so one thing that you are learning from, a lesson that you learned in that past life you're bringing over now, is to know when to stop. It's to know when to see an opportunity is not working and you need to make a change instead of just like continuing to go after it because you've been working at it so long. And that could have to do with like your finances or career, and also that could have to do with relationships. But just basically knowing like when you're in a rut, knowing when you've tried as much as you can and it's just not going to work, to be able to release yourself. Because if you get stuck in that mindset and you stuck on being like stubborn on a situation of forcing it to work, then you end up missing opportunities that are presenting themselves while you're super focused on making like this square peg fit through a circular hole. So that is something that you will see happen often in your life. You will see yourself maybe get hyper focused on a situation and trying to make it work, and nothing will work, and you eventually will have to pull yourself away. And what you can do here is, the faster you feel that feeling, and it's a fine line because you want to work hard. The Knight of Coins upright and its full energy is it's the hardest working energy of the deck. It's an energy of just, you know, working at something until you get to your goal. And a lot of good things in life do take time to build. So I'm not trying to deter you from working at goals and staying focused even in challenges. But if you know, like, this is going to be an intuitive, like, I've tried everything, especially relationships, I feel, then you need to know when it's time to quit. Okay. Karmic lessons coming through this life. King of Coins. And Judgment reverse. So the other thing that you're learning in this lifetime is about your resources, about your finances, and what you hold of value, what you feel is worthy in your life. And you're learning how to judge and assess that better. So, you know, learning that basically you're going to find yourself in situations where you discover that money truly does not buy happiness. So for some of you, that means that you're going to eventually find, and you might already be now, eventually find yourself being wealthy and having excess. And with that, you might find you're having emotional distress and you might not even know why. And that's going to be this karma coming through, this soul lesson coming through to show you that money cannot buy happiness. And that seems very petty, doesn't it? Like, oh, okay, let me show you how, let me give you this and show you how you're still not happy. Like, what's the point of that? It's because it's a lesson that it's pretty much a consistent lesson that we are constantly having to be reminded as we are incarnated as humans, that nothing external can bring us happiness or a sense of fulfillment, because everything external comes in cycles and can come and can go just like that. So you always have to have a sense of security and self and happiness and peace from within, and not through what you have externally. So you'll see that lesson come up in your life where you might get exactly what you want in a tangible way, but it won't bring you the happiness that you were thinking it would. And that can make you feel very empty, and very confused about yourself. And so that's just something to, you know, understand. It's a human thing. It's normal. So my advice for that is that you just have to work on building that inner life, that inner sense of peace and happiness and joy that you can always go to no matter what's going on outside of you. And that is something that is helpful to have in any stressful situation, to be able to manage anxiety, depression, you know, and other various very uncomfortable mental health situations that can come up. So, okay, I think that's good. Let's go ahead and step on into the love life part. Let's see, do we have anybody in your current life that's coming over? This could be romance, but also if that doesn't pick up, then it could be talking about a friend or a family member. So who is this person that's going to show up? Oops. Dropped some of my cards. Okay, so we have hedonist. This could be a Taurus in this lifetime. Mystic. Could be a Taurus, oh, I don't know why I said Virgo, so I'll just keep that. Taurus, Virgo, or a Aquarius or Pisces is what I'm feeling here, and that would be in this lifetime. So this is going to be somebody that is very tapped into like beauty. They're really into beauty. They're really into beautiful things, making themselves beautiful, making themselves feel good. It feels like a feminine energy. There's somebody that is very I believe this was a connection in your past life this was like a mentor of types. This was somebody that helped you through your own magical development. So this could have been like, like a mystic. This was somebody that was tapped in and that was helping you. So in this lifetime, it could be somebody that's a romantic thing, but I'm getting from more people, this seems more like you would probably describe this person as soul family now. I'm hearing sisters, so this could be somebody's sister. Let me know in the comments. But this person, I think they have really long hair, but they're very like into beauty. They're very into taking care of themselves. They're very into feeling good, and they just like luxury. And I feel like that's something they liked in the past life and in this life. But this person in the past life, they were somebody that helped you like expand yourself and learn a bit more about your magical side and the magic that lies within. I don't feel like you were super, super into it in the past life, but you definitely appreciated this person. Who is this? Ten of Staff. And they could have been a sister in a past life. Because again, if this is reminding you of somebody that's you're involved with romantically, that might be weird, but I just kept hearing sister. Okay, so we have the 10 of Staff and the 8 of Coin reversed. Yeah, this person helped you see how you don't need to carry all the burdens yourself, and you don't need to, like, again, we were talking about how in this past life, you're the type of person that would try and you didn't know when to quit. That's exactly this energy right here. It's the 8 of Coins reversed, when you're being like, you're a perfectionist to a fault, and you're not letting something go when you've already, like, you're done. You don't need to keep working on it. Pairing that with the 10 of Staff, which is like having, like, he has all these staffs. He's not asking anybody for help, but there are people that can help him. I know you don't see him there, but they're there. This person taught you that you don't have to take life on by yourself, and that there's more to life, and that there's energy out there that can help you, and probably taught you about your ancestors and all that kind of stuff. So a really spiritual connection with this individual. I don't really pick up on any like sexual energy or romantic energy. So if you are like that with them now, just know that your past life experience with them was a lot different. So yeah, that's going to be it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know who this is for you. Particularly the signs. Let me know if they are Taurus, Virgo, since I said Virgo, Aquarius, Pisces is what was coming through to me. And I hope you guys are having a fantastic day whenever this finds you. I will see you all next time. Hello, group medicine mother. So this is going to be your reading for past lives, and what we're doing on this reading is we're going to be taking a look at 3 different areas. We'll be taking a look at the personality of this past life. We'll be taking a look at the karma of this past life and what lessons are you needing to integrate with your current life now. And we'll be taking a look at your love life, and sometimes it's not coming through with romance as our last pile showed. But it will be taking a look at any relationships that might be significant to you in this lifetime and seeing what they were in this previous life that we're taking a look at. So let's go ahead and begin. But before I get started, reminder, general energy reading, only take what resonates. I do offer this reading on a personalized basis, and you can book that at my website, 1111whatchababe.com. It is the spiritual development and past life reading, and it is 100% customizable. So you can add in any additional questions you might have if you decide to book this reading. Okay, so the one thing that is standing out to me in this reading is going to be the blue. And I'm always looking at colors. Now, of course, I do see the brown, but the blue is what I saw initially whenever I pulled this card. And blue is connected to the throat chakra. And so this reading seems to be picking up on all the chakras a lot for the messages on the initial card. So this is a lifetime, and in your current lifetime now, where you're learning a lot of lessons through the throat chakra, where you're learning a lot of ways to be able to, you know, say the things that you mean, to feel like confident in standing up for yourself and speaking up for yourself, to you know, speak your truth. And that's hard. It's not easy. You know, you're speaking your truth can come with a lot of consequences. So it's being brave enough in order to do so, being able to spread your word, to share your message, to share information that you receive. So the fact that it is medicine mother, in this past life, you could have been somebody that was like a medicine mother, a shaman, somebody that those that you lived around your community came to for assistance in spiritual means or with their health. So let's go ahead and we're going to start with the first section, which is going to be the personality, and see what was your personality in this past life. Okay, we have storyteller coming out, but it is reversed. Okay, I just got a funny message with that. And we have child wounded. Okay, so with the first card, the shadow aspect of that energy is going to be somebody, I feel like you were somebody that told a lot of stories. You were an entertainer in your community. However, at the same time, I feel like you were kind of like a nosy. You were nosy. You were in people's business. I feel like you were a bit petty. So you were maybe somebody, while you might have been woke and you might have been spiritually connected, we're still human. Just because you're a spiritual person doesn't mean you don't have human qualities. And I feel like, you know, especially with that throat chakra being connected here, this might be like some Mercury energy. This might be some Gemini energy coming through. You were a bit messy in this past life. So you might have been the person everybody went to for all the tea, for all the information of what was going on in the neighborhood, what was going on in your community and with other people. I feel like you had a lot of people that would come to you, again, because you were somebody that had an expertise that other people needed. And you had a lot of people that came to you just because they felt safe and secure with you, even if you were messy. And you, particularly children, a lot of children would come to you and they felt safe and secure with you. Now, your childhood, because we do have this child wounded coming out, because we do have a shadow attribute coming out as the first card, you might have had some issues in your childhood that kind of helped you develop these shadow attributes. But again, everybody has shadow attributes. Child wounded is generally going to be somebody that in their childhood has went through trauma, has been hurt, and so they develop, you know, various techniques in order to feel safe and secure. But one of your techniques is going to be that you don't want other people to feel the way that you did, or other children in particular. And so you might have had more, like you may have been very, very gentle with children and a lot rougher with adults with this energy. Because I do feel like you took it upon yourself to make sure that you kept children protected. So some of you, I feel, took in children that were abandoned, is what I got. Okay, let's get some more cards here. Personality. So we have the Hierophant reversed. We have the Four of Swords. Okay, so you went against the grain when it came to who you were. I feel like you know, it's interesting because it doesn't seem like it was totally abnormal what you were doing, like whatever kind of time frame that you were in or in the society that you were in. Your work was somewhat acceptable, but at the same time it wasn't. It's almost like this is a period of time where there was a change in going from like more spiritual based into more of a Christian religion. So it could have been at one of those times of transformation. So you would have been something that was not the status quo at the time with what you offered. And so you offered an alternative to, I hate to call it an alternative, because what to me it seems like is that Christianity was the alternative that was forced down people's throats for the most part in this time period that I'm picking up on, and you were offering what was already existing prior to that. So but it was considered, you know, I mean, this is the Hierophant, right? And that is the Pope. So you were considered the alternative, quote unquote, alternative practice, and a way to commune, a way to connect with God, to connect with source and universe, and all of that. Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to move on. We are going to go to the karmic lessons portion, and what is needing to be integrated into your life now. Oh, that is the deck I want to use. Okay. Okay, this is really random, and I know it's more than likely because somebody's cooking onions and garlic right now, but you might really like that mixture, onions and garlic, and I don't know why I needed to say that, but I had to say it. I just kept hearing, like, no, say it, say it, say it, so I said it. So let me know if that resonates, if that was like, aha, this is for me. And I don't mean like I think most people like it because it adds flavor, but like really like that's like you like that a lot. Okay. Anyway, let's do this karma, this integration. So the Queen of Cups. The Two of Cups. Okay. So you will have a lot of lessons that you're going to be learning through relationships. Both romantic relationships and relationships with women. Let's go ahead and take a look at the relationships with women. Women or feminine energy. Two of Swords reversed. Ten of Swords reversed. And the Six of Staff. Okay, so you may have had a lot of experiences in a past life with feeling very competitive with other feminine energy. Feeling like you needed to beat them in some sort of way, and you needed to win. And maybe this was the environment. Maybe there was, you know, a scarcity of the masculine energy, or a scarcity of males. Whatever the case was, there was like this sense of competition for you. So I feel like if you feel that energy now, if you feel extra like just on edge with women or with feminine energy, if you feel like are constantly comparing yourself, and it's something that you know is like this is something you need to work on. This is actually energy that's stemming over from a past life where you're having to learn like to define yourself, to speak for yourself, that you don't have to like compete against somebody else because you're having your own experience. You don't have to. I feel like for some reason, and please don't take offense to this, I feel like for some reason in this past life you had an issue with like wanting to maybe and it's just weird because it's so different than your overall personality. But when it came to like relationships, it's almost like there was somebody involved that you were trying to become more like them. You were trying to like copy them, so then you would get picked. You mean you're a little bit of a pick me when it came to relationships, okay? And so if that is something that carries over into your life now, something that you're, you know, working on or wanting to work on, just know that that is stemming from you needing to, one, not look for validation outside of yourself, just like with everyone else on this reading, but also learning that you're your own individual and you have so much to offer. Why would you ever want to transform into somebody else? Like, look, you have so much to offer. That's why it's so weird to see this whenever you're showing up as this like person that other people look up to for advice and to come to for support and to feel safe. Why would you want, you're trying to emulate somebody else to attract a partner? That's just, no, that's not what this person should be doing. So you might find yourself in, you might be a very powerful person right now and still find yourself in situations that bring up this energy. And it's because you're needing to learn that lesson. You need to learn that lesson of who you are and to stand in your full power of who you are. And that other women are not your competition or anything that you need to, oops, sorry, I accidentally touched the mic, anything that you need to try to, emulate. Okay. Just be yourself. You're more than enough. All right. So I feel like pulling one more card with that, because that just, let's get one more card. No, let's move on. We're good. We're already 11 minutes. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look now at the love life part. So we're going to be taking a look and see, is there somebody in your life now that was in your life in this past life and who they were? Now, what has happened in the last reading is that it showed a, like a family or a friend link and not a romantic link. So that can happen, but it's still love. So let's see. Who was this person? Dilettante, delights in the arts without having to be in a profession. What else? Alerts you to the dangers of becoming superficial in your pursuits. Okay. And God, benevolence and compassion, recognizing the internal force within yourself and others. Okay. This was somebody else that was of a very high mind. Oh, I just got a ton of imagery. I got a ton of imagery of kings and queens. So this was like king, and this could have been a romantic partner for sure. This was somebody that was like on your level in a different way. So this could have been, this could have been like a king. This could have been a queen. This could have been somebody that was at a high level in the religious area. I almost said religious department. The religious kind of sector of your environment. But they were your equal. But there was a lot of like loss and regret and sadness in this connection. There was a lot of issues with you feeling good enough for this person, because I see all this this kind of goldish color is what I'm seeing come from these cards. So that's going to remind me of the solar plexus chakra. You might want to listen to group 2 if you were drawn into it, because that talked a lot about the solar plexus chakra. So it seems like your romantic life triggered your solar plexus chakra energy to be like, hey, you need to address this. You're not feeling like you're good enough for this person, but you are. You're always good enough. Yeah, there was a lot of sadness. There was a lot of fighting. I think like you and this person, like you couldn't be together for some reason is what I'm getting. And it's more than likely because you were at a high level in your field and what you were doing, and this person was a high level in their field, what they were doing, and you guys like were not supposed to be together. So this might be something that carries on over into your relationship now. You might have that dynamic where it's like, it's kind of like that forbidden fruit energy here. Yeah, to a staff, like there's no future for it because it's too many complications. So, if this is remind you of something that you know now, I feel, I just heard history repeats itself. This is something that's going to continue. It's going to play out the same way. Okay, so, this is, just take what resonates. I don't want you to make any decisions on a relationship based on this little segment right here. That's for sure. But take what resonates. That's going to be the reading. Let me know what you think. Let me know what's going on. If you know this person particularly. Did we talk? I don't know if we talked signs. With this person, I just heard Libra. But I don't see anything with the cards in particular that's standing out to me other than me hearing Libra. Yeah. Okay, but let me know in the comments what's going on. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day whenever you find this, and I will see you next time. Hello, group ladies. So this is going to be your reading for who you were in a past life. So what we're going to be taking a look in this reading is 3 different sections. We're going to look at personality, we're going to look at karma and the things that you're working through in this lifetime, and lessons that you're learning. And then we're also going to be looking at your love life in that past life to see, is there anybody that was in that past life that's showing up in this present life, just to see, just because I'm nosy. All right. So, as always, this is a general energy reading. So, I do offer a personalized version of this reading on my website, 1111witchybabe.com. It is the spiritual development and past life reading, and it's 100% customizable. So, you can add on additional questions. Like if you have something that pops up during this reading that makes you think of something, you can add that question onto the reading. And you can do that at my website again, 1111witchybabe.com. Okay, let's begin. So, obviously, well, not obviously to you, but I've been with this reading really taking a look at the colors. I always do that anyway, but particularly with the first card coming out and setting the tone with that. And so obviously what is standing out to me in this card is all of this green, and the green is connected with the heart chakra. So you all are experiencing a lot of lessons, and you had a lot of energy regarding the heart chakra in this past life and in your present life now. Let's go ahead though and get some more details. I'm hearing you were definitely a parent in your past life. You had children. Okay, we have detective in its shadow attribute. Oh my goodness, and my kids are being so loud. And then we have monk and nun also in its shadow attribute. Uh-oh. Sorry, everyone. Okay. Well, I definitely don't like it when I see the shadow attributes cards coming out as our first ones, but okay. So, again, only take the information that resonates. I feel like some of you in your past life, this was definitely a life you spent more in your lower aspects of yourself, which we have experiences and we were supposed to be experiencing a range of things. So that's what you were supposed to do. But you were definitely in the lower aspects of yourself. I feel like you were probably friends with group 3 with the group before us, because you also have this very strong messy energy and a strong spiritual energy that's coming to you. So it's almost like you knew pile 3. You were somebody that had a problem lying. And that might be something you deal with now, because anything that's out that past life energy that's coming through in a reading right now for you is generally coming through for more than just entertainment purposes, but because it's like, hey, there's like a message here for you as things to work on. So you were somebody that had an issue with lying. This might have been something that you developed in childhood, particularly around religion. It could have been that you were a part of a religion that was really like strict, and it was just like safer to lie about a lot of things than to tell the truth because of like what would happen if you told the truth. You were, yeah, I'm hearing like lying for your own protection. So you lied a lot for your own protection. So you're a little bit wild for it's like I'm getting like this split personality here. I'm feeling like wild for some, but then also like excessively pious for others, just like this card indicates. So maybe you were both. Maybe you just had that you had 2 lives. Okay, let's see what else though. Six of Pentacles in reverse. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So some of you in this group, and I hope this doesn't like trigger anyone or anything, but some of you, I got the direct message, were indebted servants, I think is the title. So some of you might have been Irish and a part of that. But some of you had debts, and you paid your debts off through physical labor. I feel like this is a life, and again, oh my God, I just feel like, because you know, like a lot of the times when you're watching something like this, it's like very positive things coming across, and I feel like even with the other recordings I've done, they've been all very positive. This is getting a little bit like a little dicey for me. Okay, so I feel like you were somebody you had a lot, like you had a lot of shit going on in your life. It was definitely not an easy experience for you. But you carried yourself in a way that you wouldn't necessarily know that. Like you always like looked well put together. You just carried yourself in a different way. Okay, let's keep going. I really hope that my mic's not picking up all the nonsense that's going on in my kids' room. They're going absolutely nuts in there right now playing. Okay, personality. King of Cups reversed. Okay. Oh my goodness. This is just like this is a tough one. I mean, this past life, you were somebody that definitely went through it, but you definitely didn't have the best personality, just to be quite honest. You had a very difficult time, but you weren't very trustworthy. You were somebody that kind of like played people. I think you were really like well liked by others, but you constantly like would play them. You would get people in trouble. You would like tell on them after they would trust you, but it's like almost like you never got caught doing that. You're not, there's not this sense of like people knowing you did this. It's just kind of how you were able to like manipulate your way out of it. So let's, now that we've talked and trashed your personality of your past life, let's go ahead and take a look at the lessons, because apparently you got some lessons and integration of shadow work, and these might be things that you should see in your life now, or you could actually have somebody in your life that reminds you of this energy, and they're coming in your life to act as that mirror for those shadow attributes that exist in you still from this past life. See how that can work? Okay. Let's see. What is the karma and the lessons that you're bringing over from the past life, and what do you need to integrate into this life? So we have the Hierophant reverse. The Hierophant came out in group 3. So you guys, if you felt attracted to group 3, definitely go listen to it as well. So you are learning to go against the status quo. I feel like some of your personality traits and why they were so negative was because it actually was the status quo of how to act for those around you. Like that's how everybody acted. That was kind of like the normal thing. So you were just fitting in, and I feel like you just did a really good job at it compared to other people. Okay. So you are learning though that like whatever you might be in a situation like that, it might be your life. Like your family might be that kind of family that's always just messy and talking bad about people and that kind of thing, and you're having to learn how to not be like that. Or you could be finding yourself put in jobs constantly like that with these people that just all they do is that kind of stuff, and so you're learning to step away from that, and to be different, to be, you know, come from more of a heart space, because again, we have the heart chakras, what's being activated coming from the heart space. Now I feel like in your past life you really didn't do that well of a job with coming from the heart space and dealing with your interactions, so that's going to be really significant for you now, and you're going to probably find yourself in a lot of situations where you'll have opportunities to come from a space of love to deal with situation instead from a space of, you know, anger or frustration or whatever. The Fool, yes. So yes, this lifetime you probably have a totally different personality than you did last lifetime. You might have situations pop up that can trigger that personality, those personality traits in you often, but I don't feel like you're kind of who you are is like that now currently. You might feel guilty when you step into that behavior a little bit, because it's something that every single human being has stepped into that behavior. You might feel extra guilty for it because it's like that. It's that karma from that past life. It's that remembrance from that past life of, hey, no, I don't want to do that again because I really messed up my lessons and I really want to clear them out this time. So this is like a clean slate. Like let's take care of this. Let's try again. Okay, we're gonna try again. It's a round 2. To come from the heart space in situations. Okay. We have the Hermit reversed. Okay, so wow, one thing I think is really significant here, and I haven't seen it in this entire reading, is that you guys have a lot of major arcana cards out, and they're all coming out at once. So this lifetime, you have a lot of divine guidance, you have a lot of divine protection, because your guides and your ancestors are really wanting you to complete this cycle. Okay, some of you, I just got the equivalency to like some of you, if you've ever felt like you were having to like repeat a cycle, like you're having to do, like this life seems like repetitive for you in a way almost, or like maybe you failed a grade and are having to repeat it. That's basically why they kind of are like, we're making sure you pass this time. Okay, so please, I hope that doesn't come across rude or condescending or anything like that. But it's just because I think like, it's almost like you went after a challenge, like your soul, right? Your soul decides when to incarnate into whatever existence you're in. And right now you're on this existence on the planet Earth in 2020. And in this experience that it's picking up on, your soul kind of went after a little bit more than it could take. It just went after more than it could handle, and so that's why it was harder. It's like when, you know, when sometimes kids get sent to school a bit too early, a bit too immature or young, and not able to really like grasp the concept of school, they end up having to repeat kindergarten. It's that kind of thing where it's like you were all rearing and ready to go, thought you could do it, but it was too much. And so this is like round 2, and you have a lot of divine guidance to help you, but you might have that sensation of like, I feel like I'm repeating stuff. I feel like I'm repeating situations. And it literally is. You're repeating that energy because it's trying to finish processing those lessons out. And I honestly feel like having to learn to come from the heart space is one of the hardest things to do. It's not something that I have accomplished at all. So it's not like, it's not saying that you're any worse or better than anybody else on any of these selections. It's just like, this is a difficult lesson. Like you picked a difficult section of this test called being conscious. Okay. Let's go ahead. I think we're good on that. Let's go ahead and move on to the love portion. So we're going to see if there's anybody that's in your life now currently that showed up in the past life. Oh my goodness, guys, my kids are going nuts. I don't know if it's picking it up. They have plenty of people that are taking care of them out there, but they are still making lots of noise. Okay, let's see. Here we go. So, and this person can be a romantic partner, but they also could be a friend or family member as shown up in one of the other readings. Mediators coming out in shadow attributes. Yeah. This doesn't surprise me because it just seems like you in this past life were around a lot of shady people. Like your past life experiences was in a period where people were just really terrible to each other. And then we have Pioneer also coming out on its shadow attributes. So, oh my goodness. Okay, guys. So this is an energy. This person, I do feel it was romantic. This is going to be somebody that, let me take a look at this really quickly. Yes, hidden agenda is what was standing out. This is somebody that plays with you. And they played with you in the past life, and they are playing with you now. Okay, so they have a hidden agenda. They have their own thing that they want to do. I feel like they are really good with their words and how they will lay something out. They spin stuff really well, and they are always quick to run. This reminds me of twin flame energy, to be quite honest, what I'm feeling right now. So if you have something that you feel is your twin flame that you're thinking of right now, then this is what it's tapping into. And this person in this previous lifetime was the runner. So I don't know, in this lifetime you might be the runner, or they might be the runner again, because it is, like I said, a repeat. So it's like you're repeating this. But if you are repeating this with this person, then you might find yourself really, really tapped into the twin flame collective. You also might find yourself really fucking frustrated. Okay, I can't even imagine, to be quite honest. So if you're having like this insane experience with this other person where it just seems like you guys are supposed to be together, but there's so many obstacles, it's because you are on like the second round with them in this same exact energy where they're running and you're chasing. But they have a lot of alternative motives. They have other, you know, you already know what's up with your person. They like to play a lot of games, and they like to always look like they're the good one at the top, and they're not the ones causing problems, and that you're the one causing problems or whatever. So okay, let's see what else. Yeah, 9 of Cups. This person seems like your wish fulfillment when you meet them. Like the meeting is very intoxicating. The meeting is like everything. It's like, oh my God, I finally found this person. And then it's like, oh my God, this is not fucking it. And then it's just like a nightmare after that. I know there's good meetings, there's good coming togethers, but there's this back and forth. And it's just, it never seemed to work out in that past life. And you might still be in that same energy with this person now, where it's a blocked wish. It didn't get fully fulfilled. It was like you got teased with it, but it didn't fully come through for you. And then, yeah, we have the 4 of Cups. I really think you all need to listen to group 4. I think 3 and 4 connected for some reason. So we have the 4 of Cups. This person never saw the opportunity that they had with you. And I'm sure that's what it feels like in this lifetime with them. So, you know, let's go ahead and just get some advice for you. I didn't do this with the other groups. Let's get some advice regarding this love relationship, since it's like, this is very twin flamey. This is very toxic. Oh, well, you know what? It is very twin flamey, because you're just going to have to write it out and see. That is what happens with twin flames. I've done so many private twin flame readings. I've done so many collective readings. I've done a lot of stuff in my past, a lot of free work in my past for people. And every single time something comes up where I'm like, right away I feel twin flame energy, the advice and the outcome or anything like that ends up being, you got to ride the wave. You got to experience the experience, because twin flame connections are different compared to the like higher level soul connections or soulmates or karmics or whatever, because they not only are these romantic connections, they're mirrors, and they act as shadow exposers. And so you are mirroring each other's energy, so you can expose yourself to the shadow aspects that you haven't dealt with. So you will just have to write it out, because it's basically a continuing cycle, in my opinion, of we're always going to have shadow aspects that we're dealing with. We're not pure light as long as we're incarnated human beings. So we need that help. We need that person that we bounce that energy off of to help us see what we're needing to work on at the moment, to improve, to grow, etc. Okay, so that's going to be your reading. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if it resonates, what's going on in your life. I do hope you have a fantastic day whenever you find this, and I will see you next time.